Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wrestling Discussions. My oh my, has it been one hot minute since I have done one of these. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to start this video by sincerely apologizing for my absence. I know I have said in some of the community posts that I've made over the past 2 months that I would be back soon, and soon turned in into a lot longer than expected. And I appreciate all of you that stayed on this channel. I appreciate all of you that are still subscribed. Thank you all very much, and I hope you really enjoy this video. I'm really excited to finally be back. On top of that, I have somewhat not really big news, but some fun news. This past weekend, I went to a independent show, done by the promotion SWO. If you don't know who it is, please search them up on YouTube. Great channel, great wrestling promotion. Some of the best, some very great wrestling right there. Really nice people, really nice guys. I think you should check them out 100%. I'll be posting some videos that I took from the independent show onto my channel on the shorts page. On the shorts page. So make sure to go check that out. But again, I would sincerely like to apologize for my absence between being sick, having wisdom teeth surgery, amongst many other things going on in my life right now. I had not found the time to make my return, but I found that time today, and I'm here now, I'm back now, and boy oh boy have I missed a lot in the world of professional wrestling. Missing WrestleMania, missing the Elimination Chamber, missing Revolution. And let's not count out Impact Wrestling. I've missed a lot on there. I even missed Wrestle Kingdom. Actually, no, sorry, I did cover that. I missed New Japan pay-per-views. I missed Mercedes Moné winning the women's championship. Major congratulations to her, by the way. But without further ado, let's get into this video. Let's finally get back into the channel. Let's finally make the big grand return that we've all been waiting for. And I'm going to start like I start every video on Mondays with the Monday Night Raw predictions. Now, we have a pretty nice match card so far from what I'm seeing. Just the first match alone is intriguing me. Rey Mysterio taking on Damian Priest. Now, I've seen Rey Mysterio and Damian Priest fight before, but man, oh man, does this feel so much more intense than previous matches. Now, obviously at WrestleMania, I know I didn't cover it due to my absence. However, at WrestleMania, Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio going one-on-one, son versus father, at WrestleMania Night 1, and we saw a very impressive match between both wrestlers. On top of that, I really liked the heel heat that Dominic Mysterio not only gained from that, but that he kind of oozed off of him in that. The way he treated Aaliyah, the way he treated his mother. I really enjoyed all of it, and I enjoyed the entrances that both wrestlers gave, especially the entrance of Rey Mysterio paying homage to to Eddie Guerrero. Now, as we also saw, Bad Bunny got involved and helped Rey Mysterio get the victory. All of this leading up to Damian Priest putting Bad Bunny through an announce table a few weeks ago, which is now leading to the return of Bad Bunny tonight on Monday Night Raw, as well as a match between Rey Mysterio and Damian Priest. Now, we've seen Rey Mysterio and the Judgment Day going back and forth here. We've seen the Judgment Day and the LWO going back and forth, and it hasn't been pretty. There's been a lot of back and forth. There's been a lot of brutal, just all-out war between the LWO and the Judgment Day. Now, going into this match tonight, Rey Mysterio obviously being the smaller competitor, and Damian Priest, however, being a bit of an underdog in the sense that you have a legend, you have a Hall of Famer in Rey Mysterio. Now, this being said, there is one issue right now between the Judgment Day and LWO, and that is the fact that the LWO has 4 male wrestlers and the Judgment Day has 3. And so they are a little outnumbered. On top of that, there's one more remaining issue. Last week on Monday Night Raw, we saw the Usos and the Bloodline and the Judgment Day kind of working together. And we also saw Rey Mysterio and the LWO and Kevin, Sami, and Riddle working together. And so the big question, the big thing that people have to look at tonight and really wonder is, are the Judgment Day and Kevin and Sami and Riddle and the LWO and the Usos, are they done with this union? Or is this only the beginning? We heard Paul Heyman say to the Judgment Day that make sure you live up to your end of the bargain, or else you're going to be indebted to the Tribal Chief. And they didn't live up to their end of the bargain. They lost their match. And so, could we potentially see the Usos get involved tonight? Could we see Solo, maybe, I don't know, attack Damian Priest? I'm not sure. But nonetheless, we could very well see a very interesting night tonight in terms of the amount of outcomes this match could have and the amount of variables this match could have. All that being said, though, in terms of predictions, the Judgment Day doesn't lose a lot. And, Rey Mysterio here lately, he's been getting some wins under his belt, but when it comes to the Judgment Day, he's been, getting some losses here. He's been struggling a little. And so, I'm going to be completely 100% honest in saying that I think Damian Priest is going to win this match. He's beat Rey Mysterio in the past. He has the strength advantage, and plus, like I said, he's a bit of an underdog. So this is his chance to shine. This is his chance to show off his skills, which he's been doing very impressively as of late. Now, we also have a lot going on here between that of Bobby Lashley. This is very interesting, as Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed have been feuding here lately, and I don't know if they're going to wrestle tonight. I don't know. To be quite honest, I don't know what's all on the card. I do know for a fact that Damian Priest and Rey Mysterio is scheduled for tonight, so that is my prediction for that. But moving on to Bobby for a minute, Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed. These two are very talented wrestlers. I'm a big fan of Bronson Reed, and I would really like to see him get a push, especially maybe for the United States Championship. However, Bobby Lashley is coming off of a very big career win, which is the Andre the Giant Battle Royal Memorial, or Memorial Battle Royal. On top of that, we've seen what that match can do for certain wrestlers. We saw what it did for Cesaro. We saw what it did for Mojo Rawley at one point. It kind of put him over a little bit for the year, and then he kind of simmered down. However, with Bobby, he's already had a pretty impressive past few years here. It could be more impressive, but impressive nonetheless. So my question is, do we want to see Bobby Lashley kind of take over this rivalry with Bronson Reed and then move on? Or do we want to see Bronson Reed be the guy to move on from this, and Bronson Reed get a push and something bigger and better? It's safe to say Bronson Reed is a heel, but it's also safe to say that this guy is someone that you have to be watchful of. It's someone that you have to be careful of, and it's someone that he proved himself in Elimination Chamber. He's proven himself with the likes of Bobby Lashley in the sense that he didn't lose to Bobby, and he really, as far as I know, he hasn't had a singles loss yet since his return. And so that's something to look out for. That's something to be watchful of. I think Bronson Reed is a very dangerous individual. Now, on top of that, we have Seth Rollins. Now, there's been a lot of speculation here with Seth Rollins, a lot of controversy, in the sense that many people have been saying that Seth Rollins is leaving. Many people have been saying that Seth Rollins is unhappy. And many people have been saying that, oh, that's not true, Seth is fine. It's a lot of back and forth. Now, on Monday Night Raw, the Raw after WrestleMania, Seth Rollins coming off of an impressive match and an impressive night against that of Logan Paul. Seth Rollins had pretty much no screen time, practically no TV time whatsoever. And then the week after he wasn't present. Now, last week he was, when he took on The Miz in one-on-one action in a very impressive match. Now, if what I just read earlier was correct, I'd also read that at Backlash, there is a match set to be Seth Rollins versus Omos. Now, that story makes practically no sense to me, unless they want to make Seth Rollins the Giant Killer. And I say that in the sense that we've seen Seth Rollins be the Kingslayer. We've seen him be the Beast Slayer. Maybe the Giant Slayer's next up. I'm not quite sure. However, nonetheless, I think Seth Rollins is an impressive wrestler. And I'm going to bring up Seth a little later on, and you'll understand why when I do. But I'm kind of moving on for a minute. We also have this idea right now, like I mentioned earlier with the Judgment Day, this idea of the Bloodline and Kevin and Sami and Riddle, and there's no doubt in my mind that the Bloodline and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and Matt Riddle are going to be on Monday Night Raw tonight. Now, I do just want to say Kevin and Sami had an impressive, not even impressive, an amazing victory and an amazing match at WrestleMania against the Usos, a match that I was so happy to have seen happen, and a match that I was so happy with the results of. Now, Kevin and Sami, here, so far, I feel as though Kevin and Sami are set to successfully retain their titles this Friday. On top of that, we've seen Matt Riddle go back and forth with Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline. Now, has Matt Riddle got a singles win against Solo yet? No, not yet. In fact, there's only been one man to have beat Solo Sikoa yet, and that was the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. However, all of that being said, there's no doubt in my mind that we won't see the Bloodline, and we won't see Riddle, and we won't see Kevin and Sami tonight. I highly believe we will. And I don't know if that's going to be just promos. I don't know if we're going to have a match scheduled between one or two or whatever. But I do feel as though we're going to see some sort of thing go on between those two groups. Now, on top of that, we have Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, the guy who was being pushed for a really long time in this match with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and he lost. Got screwed, in my opinion. He got screwed by the Bloodline, and he got screwed by the big guy in the back. Now, whether that big guy be Triple H, or whether it be Vince McMahon, we may never truly know who made that call. Nonetheless, Roman Reigns is still champion. On top of that, Cody Rhodes is now in a feud with Brock Lesnar, and that match has been officially made for Backlash. However, the question is, will we even see Cody Rhodes on TV tonight? Last week, he had attacked a bunch of security, and we had heard from Corey Graves over the announce desk, over at the announce desk on commentary, pretty much stating this is going to cost him a lot of money, which we've seen it happen with Ronda Rousey. We've seen it happen with a lot of wrestlers in the past in terms of storyline, that they could be suspended because maybe they don't have TV time for them or whatnot, or maybe it's just part of the story. I don't know. But nonetheless, I wouldn't be surprised if Cody Rhodes is not on television tonight. On top of that, I think it's safe to say Brock Lesnar is not going to be there. Now, kind of switching things over to the women's division, Damage Control has been another interesting topic as of late, because there's been some questionable things going on with Damage Control. Some people are saying they're breaking up soon, which I really hope is not going to happen anytime soon, considering they haven't even been a faction for one whole year yet. On top of that, I really just don't want to see Dakota Kai and Io Sky and Bayley go their separate ways yet. I think those three as a unit, as a faction, makes perfect sense. And if you're to break them up now, it's going to be rushed. It's not going to make sense. It's not going to work right. And it's not going to look right on top of that. Now, Bianca Belair and Io Sky are set to fight for the Raw Women's title. I don't believe that match is tonight. I don't know when the match is supposed to be. What I do know is it's not, as far as I know, I don't believe it's at Backlash. I'm not sure if it's been scheduled for Backlash or not. What I do know is this is a match that has been highly anticipated. This is long-term storytelling, in my opinion. Now, we've seen Bianca Belair defeat Io Sky in singles action on Monday Night Raw. However, Io Sky's first main roster match was against Bianca Belair, and that match ended in no disqualification. So, I do think that it's safe to say Io Sky could very well be the next person to be women's champion. Now, a lot of people are saying that after Bianca Belair's impressive win at WrestleMania, she's not going to lose the title anytime soon. I disagree with that. I do think Damage Control is going to take the belt off Bianca Belair. I don't know if they're going to be the ones to hold it. I don't know if they're going to get involved. But what I do know is that from day one of Damage Control coming at SummerSlam and making their big debut, we've seen Bayley, we've seen Dakota Kai, and we've seen Io Sky be a thorn in the side of Bianca Belair. And they could very well, keep being that thorn, especially now that they don't have to deal with Becky Lynch. That being said, the draft is coming up. And so this could lead to a number of things. This could lead to a title switch where we see champions have to switch titles and go to other brands. This could lead to a number of things. However, in my personal opinion, what this is leading to is perhaps new rivalries. If Io Sky doesn't get the win against Bianca Belair, perhaps Damage Control goes to SmackDown. There's been a lot of speculation that Bayley is leaving WWE, which I hope is not true. If that's the case, I hope Io and Dakota stay a team for as long as they can, simply because I feel like they have a great tag team chemistry and a great bond in and outside that ring right now, and I think it's too soon to break that up. Same goes for Bayley. I think Bayley being the mother hen of Damage Control is the best thing they can do right now. Now, all of that being said, we could still very well see Bianca Belair retain her title at Backlash, or whenever she defends it against Io Sky, and we could see, I don't know, maybe someone else challenge her for the title down the road, or Damage Control gets into a rivalry with someone else at some point. However, I think Io Sky is someone that you can't count out in this match. On top of that, I think Dakota Kai is someone that should be the next champion, or at least be a challenger. However, her match with Bianca Belair last week kind of proves that maybe, just maybe, Dakota's not ready for singles gold yet, which I'm not denying. She does have a little bit of growth. However, she does have a little bit of growth that she still needs to get. However, nonetheless, I do think someday down the road, we will see singles gold for both Io Sky and Dakota Kai. But going into this match, I really think Io Sky is someone that people are, not really looking at closely. And I think she's the underdog, but I also think she's the underdog that people need to watch out for. She's the wild card in this match, not Bianca Belair. And that's what people have to realize and really focus on. Now, we also have seen Trish Stratus turn heel, which is pretty impressive to me, considering this kind of means that Trish Stratus is staying in WWE for a little bit. And she did attack Lita. She did, call out the fact that she was the one to attack Lita. I think this could lead to a match between Trish Stratus and Lita. And I think we could get it at SummerSlam. On top of that, I think what they're trying to do is do a match between Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch until said SummerSlam match happens between Trish Stratus and Lita. Now, we also have one more thing that we need to discuss, and that is Austin Theory, the United States champion, defended his belt against Bobby Lashley last week. Bronson Reed got involved, and now Austin Theory has nobody. Austin Theory has been exactly that. He's been a theory, because nobody can figure out who's going to be the guy to take the title off of him. He's been very impressive as of late. He won an Elimination Chamber. He's beat Seth Rollins in singles action. He's beat Bobby Lashley on multiple occasions at this point. He's beat Rey Mysterio. He defeated Mustafa Ali before. He's defeated a number of wrestlers. I don't know who is going to be the next guy to fight him for the United States Championship. I really, really don't. However, I have an idea, and that idea is the Rated R superstar Edge. Considering the fact that Edge, his match got interrupted by Finn Balor, he could very well have another opportunity for the United States title. And on top of that, we've heard rumors and such being said that now that Edge is no longer feuding with the Judgment Day, he could finally be moving on towards singles gold or some sort of something that really shows his big Rated R superstar type, that really shows his legacy since his return back in 2020. Alright, so moving on from Monday Night Raw, because I think I covered quite a bit. I didn't cover some of the tag team stuff, and I didn't really talk about Otis and Gable, or Baron Corbin, or Ezekiel, or whatnot, but we'll talk about that a little bit later down the road, when they kind of start to surface a little more. But moving on to a topic I really wanted to touch on, considering I haven't been able to because I've been absent for so long, is who's going to be the guy to take down Roman Reigns. Now, if you heard me say earlier, I did say I would bring back the topic of Seth Rollins. That is exactly what I was talking about. Now, before I get to Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns has been the undisputed Universal Champion since last year's WrestleMania. He's been Universal Champion going all the way back to 2021. Oh, sorry, going all the way back to 2020 at Payback when he beat Braun Strowman and The Fiend in a triple threat match. And I do truly, truly believe that Roman Reigns needs to lose that belt. A lot of people are saying it's not going to happen until WrestleMania 40, but it needs to happen at SummerSlam. He absolutely cannot be champion after SummerSlam. It's getting old. He's winning the title too much at this point. He's retaining it way too much, to the point where the fans were honestly shocked. Jaw dropped shocked that he beat Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 39. And on top of that, people are still saying that it's going to be Roman Reigns versus The Rock at WrestleMania 40. Here's my opinion of that. People are always going to say it's going to be Roman Reigns versus The Rock until Roman finally loses the belts. Personally, I think Cody Rhodes isn't the guy. And I've said this before. I've always said, I think Seth Rollins is going to be that guy. And I think the fans are starting to realize that Seth Rollins is going to be the guy. In fact, both Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns have said on social media and just in general that they want to fight each other again. They want to be the match at WrestleMania 40. Personally, I don't think they should wait that long, nor do they need to wait that long, considering Seth Rollins is literally white hot. He can't get any hotter right now. And if this match between him and Omos happens at Backlash and he wins, he's only going to skyrocket even more. It needs to happen. Personally, I think it should happen at SummerSlam. Some people are saying that at Money in the Bank, some people are saying that at Money in the Bank, Seth Rollins might win. Personally, I think Roman Reigns is going to fight Shinsuke Nakamura at Money in the Bank. But I don't know. I do think either Shinsuke Nakamura or Karrion Kross is the next challenger to Roman Reigns. However, I also feel as though after that, Seth Rollins is going to be the guy. And I do feel as though Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns would make the most sense to happen at SummerSlam. Now, SummerSlam, a lot of people are saying Randy Orton could return, which I'm not disagreeing with. I'm simply saying that if we got Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, I don't think Randy should get involved. And I'm simply saying that because Seth and Roman, it needs to be a one-on-one. And it needs to be Why do you think the Usos weren't involved at the Royal Rumble of 2022? Why do you think Solo wasn't involved or any other Bloodline member? Why do you think Paul Heyman didn't stand ringside with Roman Reigns? It's because of one factor. It's because of one singular reason. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins is that big. It is that impactful. And it is that big of a story at this point that those two need to have that match. They need to have that type of event where it's just those two going at it for 20 minutes or 10 minutes. They could do 5 minutes and it would still be entertaining. Those two have such a great chemistry and they have such a rivalry in terms of a story that can be told that it needs to happen. And Seth's the only guy in the past 3 years that has proven that he can get under the skin of Roman Reigns so much that he actually has a victory over Roman Reigns, even if it is because of disqualification. Now, all that being said, I really, really do think Seth Rollins is the guy to beat Roman Reigns. I've said it since the Royal Rumble of 2022. If Seth Rollins isn't the guy to beat Roman Reigns, I genuinely don't know who it is. It would have to be The Rock at that point. If Seth Rollins fights Roman Reigns and loses, I will hands down say it right now. It's going to be The Rock. The Rock's going to be the guy to beat Roman Reigns. That I will agree with the fans for once. I will say it's going to be The Rock. I don't know what else to tell you. Now, I do just want to make a quick announcement. I don't know a whole lot right now about what's going on with AEW. I'm still catching up on that. I'm a few weeks behind right now. So I will get to that this Wednesday, obviously. I'll talk about that because I am officially back. I am back to making the daily videos. And if something comes up along the way, check the community posts as always. I'll make sure to post on there if a video is not coming up for that day. I'll keep you guys updated. And again, I'm really happy to be back. And I also want to make a quick shout out to Steve Macklin on Impact Wrestling. Shout out to him for winning the Impact World Championship. Congratulations. Very impressive victory for Steve Macklin. I'm very... it's safe to say, I'm pretty sure everyone knew Steve Macklin was going to be Impact World Champion. And so I'm very happy to see that he did get the win. It is unfortunate, however, to hear that Josh Alexander is going to be out of action for quite some time. But nonetheless, I hope he recovers quickly. I hope he recovers well and is back to 100% shortly so he can come back and continue to be the amazing walking weapon that he is. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you for tuning in. I'm really glad to have you guys here, to have this community. It's been a long 2 months. Again, I really apologize for my absence. And I want to say thank you again from the bottom of my heart for sticking by me, for sticking by this channel, for those of you that did. And I will catch you guys in tomorrow's episode. Peace out.